Hey everyone, thank you for being here. This is a second video for today because the first one, um, I was a little edgy. So I thought I would, if you don't resonate with that one, and it had a lot of different messages in it and a lot going on, I think that's why I was so edgy. But I've decided to put another one out and ask Spirit specifically for a message for the collective that would be a little less intense and heavy. So I'm using the Light Seers Tarot, and while I was shuffling, three distinctly came out. The Fool, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. I think this is one of my favorite Hierophant cards. And so when I ask Spirit to help me to understand what is the message for the collective with this, what I am hearing is that the fruits of your labor are going to come into fruition. So it sort of does piggyback on the other reading, because I mentioned December quite a bit in the last one, or the first one for today. So that's still in effect, but for some of you, it's not going to be so heavy, or the energy isn't so intense. So if that did not jibe with you or it didn't resonate with you, then whatever it is that you're working on, and this feels like a very personal reading. The other one felt like you were out among groups and in a professional kind of setting. This feels like it's very internal, very personal, something that you do for yourself, maybe even something you do within your own space. But it is going to come into fruition, and it is going to come into a place, it's going to bring you into a place of peace within yourself. So you're not going to rely on other people. You're not going to be looking for someone to complete you. You're not going to be looking for the perfect job or income or whatever. Whatever the motivation is outside of you that's external, this one is different. It's going to come to fruition with an internal knowing, and I get a little bit sooner rather than later. The other one, it was going to be all the way to the mid to actually latter part of December. This one, I feel like this internal shift is going to happen sometime in November. So that's, like, I would say between the 15th and 20th. So that means it's going to be something that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, or 3 weeks. So that's good. And it's going to be something incredibly, incredibly personal. Like I said, incredibly personal. So, oh, and we do have a member of the community who has started putting some videos out. So it's in the comments. Take a look for it. And I suggest that if you do have your own work that you want to put forth, please put it in the comments so that everyone can see it, okay? And let's get on with this one. Let's see. So, a personal endeavor, something that is going to enrich your life, bring you a sense of settled groundedness that you have not had until now, because there's been too much looking outward. It's going to become a very introspective part of your life now that is developing, and that's a little different from the first reading for today. Mid-November. Okay, I felt like one did not flip over inside the deck. Okay, we had two jump out. All right, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Yeah. So there's going to be a knowing about this before it happens. You're going to know, because if you don't know what is going to bring you peace, all of a sudden you're just going to feel more settled and find peace. It's not going to be any one specific thing that you do. It's just going to be an overall feeling of you can exhale, you can breathe again. And it's going to have to do with decisions that you make. It's going to have to do with decisions that you make in your life, in your personal life. Whether it's personal or professional, it doesn't matter, because it's what affects you when you're inside your walls, when you're inside your home. Let me get another one, please. I need more information about this. There's also going to be some naysayers. There's also going to be people who just don't understand why you don't want to be part of things, why you don't want to get out, why you don't want to do stuff. That's okay. They don't have to understand, because they won't. All right, the card that came out is the Chariot. So this is something that is going to be, again, a singular endeavor. There are going to be quite a few people who will not understand it. Some will feel like you're turning your back on them, or they might even question you or question your motivation. Well, that's just none of their business. You do you. Okay. If no one pays your bills, if no one cleans up your stuff, if no one goes and gets your groceries, if no one takes care of anything in your life but you, then they don't get an opinion. There you go. That answers that. All right. Because people are really good about having opinions when it's got nothing to do with them. Isn't that the truth? All right, on top, yeah, Three of Cups. You are going to celebrate with you, me, myself, and I. Have you ever heard that phrase? Okay, but it's going to be you, Spirit, and the ones who understand the ones who are coming from a similar place. Okay, so the cards that actually came out, this one, the Three of Cups, this one is not a third party, anything like that. This is a cup of, this is a card, this is a card of celebration. You're going to get into connection with your most sacred self, higher self, the celestial beings around you. Because I feel like for some of you, there's I'm sure you've heard of the star seed. I feel like there's a star seed connection for some of you. And all of a sudden that is going to be made known to you. And you're going to be able to manifest things outwardly by going inward. That's big. Hear that. I'll say it again. You're going to be able to manifest things outwardly if you choose to go inward. All right. So the Tower, Four of Wands, and the Three of Wands. So lead the way, Spirit. Tell me what to say. You're going to come into a place of peace, and you are going to be settled and grounded. And it feels like a long time since that's been the case. But it's going to create a tower, not for you, but for someone else, for these naysayers, for these people around you, people who are questioning your motivations. It's going to cause a tower moment because you are going to come into celebration and union with your spirit, with yourself, with your life. You're going to learn to love your life, not with the exception of when, if, whatever. It's going to be because you love your life. Simply that. And other people are not going to understand it, but they're going to want a little bit of it. They're going to want a piece of that. And they're not going to have access to it because they won't know how to love their own life first. And then that brings us to this card, which is, in this instance, it's the Me, Myself, and I card. And it's okay for you to say that. You are not looking out for anyone but yourself right now, because in doing so, you get so strong that you can manifest outwardly the betterment for everyone. I hope that makes sense. That's really important. That is so important. Okay. All right. And that's the reading for the general population and collective. All right. If this is your reading, please claim it. If it isn't, remember, these are general readings. You don't ever have to resonate with anything in these readings. But by mid-November, you're going to feel a radical difference in the way you see yourself, your life, your home, everything in your world. Because then you are going to have the strength, the knowing, the internal power to turn that out and change everything around you with a thought. That's pretty good. I asked if I'm supposed to take these three because while I was just kind of talking and shuffling, three fell out, and I'm hearing yes. And to take the one off the top, be wary. Be wary of people with disingenuous motivations. Moon card. But then we have the Emperor, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. But on the top of the deck, when I flipped it over, it was the Knight of Cups. And this is my least favorite Knight of Cups because I feel like that is the disingenuous. That is someone who wants something for nothing, and it's a very shallow individual who would never be willing to give only to receive. That is the hidden knowledge. Be aware of that. The Emperor, it isn't someone else. It could be. It might be. That'd be nice. But this is you. If this is your reading, this is you. You stand strong and firm. Doesn't matter whether it's Emperor or Empress. You find your strength. You find your resolute knowing. And in so doing, you hold the world in your hands and you hold abundance and always and all things. All right. That is your second reading. That is a much more positive reading too. And it's going to happen before the other one, the first reading that I did for the day. That is going to happen by sometime in November, between mid to late November. Yeah. All right. I'm sending you love and gratitude. Thank you so much. I'm keeping this one shorter since I already did one for today. And be well. Take care. Thank you. And let's hold places in the world who are that are struggling. Let's hold them in our hearts and put a bubble of protection around them. Thank you.